Hey guys, this is Anthony here, Super Duty Service. We have got Anchor's truck 48. Had cracked head, fuel in the coolant. Used a bulletproof diesel kit. Injected the epoxy just like we did over here. I have one going right now. It's on its second day of curing. This was cylinder number 3 in there. I injected that one. We're going to have to retest it and see if it works. But it did seal it up on this one, so we're carrying on and doing complete cooling system replacement. The hoses are all weak. I mean, I know it's hard to tell, but that hose is just worn out. Everything is swollen up. Yeah, degas cap is, show you indication. You see the bubbles? See how the O-ring around inside of here is all bubbled up? That's from fuel contaminating with it, and it swells everything up. Well, everything would have started leaking in this truck. So we did replace everything. We pulled the front cover off. This is another little indication it was starting to go. See it deteriorating the inside of it, just chewing it away, and it's like mush. Turns it to mush. So I got the front cover gasket 2 here. The front cover gasket. I mean, it would have been a while, maybe. I got this little spot right here. I've had people before that have actually had bulletproof diesel do this, and a year later or however long later, you know, they replace hose, one hose at a time, another hose. Next thing you know, they're down to the front cover because that's the only remaining place for it to leak coolant. So, yeah, that's where we're at with the coolant. We're going to replace all that. Another thing we've got going to pull the front cover off, I pulled the low pressure oil pump. And I don't know who had this off last time, but they must have threw it across the parking lot. See all those gouges in it? This pump should be perfect. It should be pristine. And you can see in there quite a few ridges. I mean, you can definitely feel them with fingernail. They're pretty bad ridges. I mean, same with this one. That should be perfect, pristine metal. Which, I mean, in theory, I mean, something went through it. But it could have been plastic, could have been anything. You know, I mean, generally plastic would just get mutilated in it. But since it's not, it's just even wear failure, I would probably suggest to replace the low pressure pump. I think it's like 60 bucks or something like that. Then we have a mechanical regulator here. This is the low pressure oil regulator. It's just mechanical. It's got a spring on it. Well, in time, I mean, they do, you know, this will be fine to put this back in. We don't have to replace this. But as time goes on, this spring that's inside of here gets weak. And then the oil pressure drops. A good way to bring that oil pressure back up to stock is to go ahead and replace the low pressure regulator. Replace that spring. So that way it bumps it back up. Okay, so, you know, I'll throw this at you, Dave. We can see if, if you want to do that, go that route. I've already got the parts out, so there's no labor on it. I mean, it's just a matter of buying the part and putting it in. I think, I mean, it's going to be about $100 bill, maybe $110 for both the pump and the regulator. Something like that. But, okay, that's the coolant. Now, the AC system, I sent you the video, the link to the one we did on September the 15th of 2014 was when we last had this truck apart for no heater flow. There was no heater flow coming through the evaporator core. Well, we went ahead and put it back together. It was the end of the season. Now I've got this, listen to this AC compressor. Hear it? I mean, it's pretty freaking bad. I mean, and this is the same one that the orifice tube had stop leak put in it. This system, the Schrader valve was bad on the accumulator, and it had stop leak put in it. We had to fix it last time just because the air comes from the blower motor and goes straight through the accumulator, and then it goes around through the blend door and then either through the heater core or straight into the vents. So every bit of air that comes out of the vents in the dash goes through the evaporator core before it makes it into the cab. So that's why we hot tanked it last time, because it was completely clogged up with dirt. So where we're at right now with that AC compressor like that and the orifice tube looking how it looks, I mean, if we want to do AC system, it's complete replacement. It's probably gonna be about 500 bucks. You know, I mean, I can clean out the evaporator core. I use a shop vac brake cleaner. It might be, man, I said 500. It might be in the 700 range. I don't know. You know, I mean, I can clean out the condenser also in the front. I can clean it out. It's kind of a fine line because you can buy a new one for about 80 bucks. You know, and it's a lifetime warranty. You know, on the whole system. I mean, everything will be lifetime warranty on it, just like on the on Eldon's truck. You know, if we want to do AC on this truck, you know, we can absolutely, and get it knocked out, get it ready for the summer. Had another freaking issue. This tensioner here is a cheap aftermarket O'Reilly's tensioner. Well, and I think we know what shop put that tensioner on, and the center bolt was tightened up so tight that it sheared this bolt. This one was still good. This is the only thing holding it on. Here's what I had to do to get it out. I've used about 3 or 4 nuts. I tried a couple of tricks using wax and getting it hot and trying to suck the wax in. Nothing popped it loose, but I tried to weld quite a few to it. Finally, I welded a washer to the end of the stud, and it was in the block right there. Let me focus this. It was in the block right there. Finally, no harm, no foul, I got it out. That's awesome. We also, I know this is, we got a kid that comes in here after school, so I had him kind of working a little bit. Your washer fluid reservoir, this is written on it, do not fill. Well, we went ahead, I've been doing a lot of salvage yard running, so I got, there's your old one, went ahead and put a new one in it. Got a new, we'll see, make sure this one seals up. If it doesn't seal up, no charge, heck with it. I mean, it might be no charge anyways, I don't freaking know. It's, you know, just making sure that you can use the washer fluid. But, so where we're at right now is I'd like to find out if you want to do the AC system. If you want to go ahead and put the compressor on it, get the lifetime warranty AC system on this truck. The other thing, I think that's really, well, the AC system, if you want the AC, and do you want the low pressure pump, or do you want to just put this back in and ride with it? Whichever way you want to go, you know, it's all, I mean, I would actually, I don't know. I mean, I'll leave that up to you, whichever way you want to go. It is a bummer whoever was in this last. Look at what was on the oil cooler screen. This should be a clean screen. It's not broken, so it was holding, didn't let any contaminants through, but got little parts of plastic on the screen. Did not look good at all. So, yep, that's where we're at right now. I thought I'd just take a little update video, let you go through and look at everything we got going on. Low pressure regulator and AC system are the main questions I've got right now. We're kind of turning into a substantial repair here. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what the total is, but I know Julie's got it. But I'm going to go ahead and send this to you too, have you take a look at it. I know it's a long video, but we'll just wait for your call back. Freaking bummer. I know we replaced this line last time. I think we replaced both of them lines. We replaced this one and we replaced that one. But it's just a drag when you know, when there's a hole in a line like this is right here. When there's a hole in here, we don't do anything like this. We would put a new line on it that goes all the way down to the freaking power steering cooler. And now look, I mean, it's not a dripping leak, but it's seeping, you know. Another thing I would really like to do, Dave, is get rid of these freaking junk terminals and put good negative terminals on it. I mean, those, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how much the terminals are. I mean, it's easy for me to suggest stuff when it ain't my money. I know. This one doesn't seem bad. The positive cables seem to be okay. You know, so I mean, what I'd really like is just to get rid of that negative terminal over there. Yeah, kind of overloading you. I really want this thing to be tip-top when it leaves. So we're going to go ahead and do cam and crank sensor O-rings. That's why another reason, I mean, I'd like to take that AC compressor off to do the crank sensor O-ring back there. Maybe we can do away with any kind of oil leaks off the front of the engine. You know, we're going to have everything done but the bed plate, which that's engine out. We're not doing that. Yep, I'll just send this to you, and that way you can give us a call and we'll talk it over. All right, have a good day, Dave. Bye.